What's up? My name is Bradley, and today we're going to be talking about Caecilians. That's right, an amphibian you've probably never heard of in your fucking life, or probably seen ever before either. I don't think they're in zoos that much, but they do some really weird things, and we're going to talk about them. So join me as we dip into the world of Caecilians, some creepy ass, weird looking amphibians. So there's about 200 species of Caecilians. 90% of those species live underground, so there's a lot of gaps in research, and also the rest of the 10% live in water, and sometimes that's kind of hard to gather scientific data of their whereabouts in the water as well. They are amphibians, so that just means that they're ectothermic, which means that they are cold blooded. They also have ties to the water, and they have non amniotic eggs. Now, some Sicilians can range in sizes up to 3 to 4 inches, and some can be about 4 feet long. But this one is the Gaboon Sicilian from Africa. They're some of the more common Sicilians that you'll see in Africa. They're actually in African herpetology guides, which is kind of cool. So yeah, Sicilians got a range of sizes, and most Sicilians that live fossorially are going to be smaller because they bury underground. It's easier to be smaller when you bury underground. So Sicilians got some skin that's kind of interesting. They have mucous membranes in the front of their body that helps them wiggle through the dirt more readily. They also have toxin membranes in their skin in the back of their body because they're often attacked from the back. Some toxins can make you feel really sick, so no touchy. Aliens also have these rings around them that you'll see, those light colored rings. So those are called annuli. It just makes them look more like earthworms, and they're often mistaken for those. But they're not earthworms. They're amphibians. Okay, all right. They're Caecilians. Um, so yeah, they also have microbial properties that help prevent against fungus from getting in the annuli, and we don't want no fungal infections here. It's really important that you don't have fungal infections since the dirt in the soil is literally jam packed with mycelium net. Now, this is where things get a little weird. So, if you don't like weird stuff, or you're kind of grossed out by stuff, maybe scroll away or not. But I think this is really interesting. So, roughly 25% of Caecilian species practice maternal dermatophagy, where the mom gives birth to these little guys. They have little teeth, and they eat her skin for protein. Don't worry, she regenerates her skin every 3 days. So they get to feast on her for 3 days, and then stop, and then she makes a new layer, and then they keep eating again. But this is actually comparable to mammalian breastfeeding or lactation. It's convergent to it, really. So um, you don't really see this in amphibians at all. Most amphibians will hatch out as little tadpoles and swim around and eat algae and shit like that, and grow arms and legs, but not Sicilians. They're a little bit different. Now, here's another picture since I know you guys love Sicilians. Look at those little eyes. Look how cute they are. Sicilians do have eyes, but they're not as pronounced as maybe mammalians or other amphibians. They can't really see that well. They can differentiate light from dark, and that's pretty much about it. I mean, you're not going to really need some crazy eyes when you're pretty much live underground or in the water. So, yeah, that's why they call them little blind ones. But this is the little babies, and they're probably going to start eating their mom's skin soon. But yeah, there are some species of Sicilian that live in the water and don't need to eat their mom's skin. And this is, in fact, how they breathe when they first little babies. They have external gills here, kind of like the axolotl, which maybe I'll talk about in a future TikTok or whatever. But then they lose their gills over time and just breathe through their skin. So that's cool, huh? Oh yeah, but one last thing about maternal dermatophagy, and then we'll move on. But in the week that these babies eat their mom's skin, they can grow up to 10 times the size that they once were. So um, it's pretty cool. It's very useful in the Caecilian world, I guess. So yeah, this is an aquatic species of Caecilian. Not sure which species this is, but there are roughly 5 to 10% of all the Caecilians living on the Earth are aquatic, and so they're a little bit larger than the ones that are burrowing. And fun fact is that they use their skin for respiration. So one species has no lungs at all, which is pretty interesting. And the largest species of Caecilian, measuring 4 feet long, is in fact aquatic. This is the largest Caecilian that we have found so far, measuring up to 4 feet. It is called the Atritocona lci, and otherwise known in the Amazon language as the penis fish, which you can see as to why it's got its name. But yeah, discovered in 2011. So we still have a lot to learn about Caecilians, and yeah, kind of interesting looking thing there. What is that? Now, Caecilians are the only vertebrates that have these little tentacles. Scientists are not exactly clear exactly what they do, but the good guess would be that they are chemoreceptors, and we just found out that they are connected to the vomeronasal organ and olfactory organ, just to sniff out worms and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty interesting little feature there. Eyes are overrated when you got tentacles. So not only do Sicilians have some weird skin adaptations for things, but they also have really weird jaw stuff going on. So humans have kind of four muscles, right? We have the temporalis, we have the masseter, and we have the pterygoids. Whereas Sicilians have that, but they also have a group of muscles that came from what would be the throat muscle and other amphibians, and it just makes them have a way more powerful jaw and bite force. We're not sure exactly what their bite force is, but we want to compare it to snakes of their size. So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be eating worms and things that are slippery, you're gonna want to chomp down really hard on those fuckers and incapacitate them. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, they also have crazy teeth too. Look at those teeth. And yeah, so Sicilians, man, crazy. So just remember, when it's venomous, it bites you and you die. When it's poisonous, you eat it and you die. Anyways, we just found out several years ago that there is a species of Caecilian called the ring Caecilian that is potentially venomous. We still haven't gotten a bite from it yet, but we have discovered that there are glands in their teethers there that will secrete toxins. So there you have it. Even more scary, I guess, but that's crazy looking. Anyways, look at this pretty one. This is a two-color Caecilian. Well, I hope you enjoyed my talk about Caecilians. And if you think this is cool, please send me a like or whatever message. And I'm going to talk about more animals soon. So, yeah, hope you have a good night or day or wherever the hell you are. Toodaloo.